Welcome. So today I wanted to talk about certain emotions arising, certain things that were hidden, that we weren't aware of, that were unconscious, coming to the surface for us to heal, for us to pay attention to, for us to let go of, transform and alleviate and raise our consciousness. And often along the path, there are certain aspects of us that are hidden, that get suppressed, that get numbed, and there's certain memories, there's certain emotions that are built up that we haven't expressed, there's certain childhood memories, that perhaps even past life experiences that are still stored within us. And so what happens is in life, they're going to come to the surface. And when they come to the surface, we don't like them. Our ego thinks that there's something wrong, there's something bad is happening. It needs to go away, it needs to be hidden. But just like when we receive mail, when we receive online emails, and we get the email comes up, we see it and we delete it. We delete it and it's temporarily going. And it comes back up again. We delete it, it goes. It comes back up again. It keeps coming. And only until we fully go through the email, we fully read it, we fully go to the bottom of it and click unsubscribe. So we have to go through the whole email, click unsubscribe, and that's how we can, delete the email from coming back and again. This is the actual way to do it. And just like our emotions arise to the surface. Certain things that were hidden. And they arise because they are indicators. They are trying to unveil something deeper within you. They're trying to show you something. And if you keep ignoring them, deleting them, putting them aside, they're still going to be there. They're still going to keep coming because you're still, quote unquote, subscribe to the mailing list. You still have that emotional pattern within you. It needs to be addressed. And just like when you subscribe to something and you're on the mailing list, sometimes you don't know that you're on the mailing list to a certain subscription. Sometimes you don't know. You agreed to something maybe 5 years ago, 2 years ago. And the only way you know that you're on the mailing list is by you receiving an email from that subscription, from that mailing list. So by you receiving an email, you should be thankful, just like when you receive an emotion, just like when something comes to the surface that comes into the light of your awareness. You should be grateful and thankful that it came up so that you can see it now. It's time for you to see it. It's time for you to feel it, to heal it, to let it go, to work with it, to give it attention, to give it love, to see what it's needed. And just like the mailing list, we give thanks. It comes up. We see the email, then we scroll to the bottom and we click unsubscribe. Now I know that I'm subscribed to this. Thank you. Now I can choose to just delete it, ignore it, or I can choose to go, okay, no, I'm going to give this more attention. It's going to take more time. It's not a band-aid solution, and it's not going to just get rid of it straight away. I have to read through it, scroll all the way to the bottom, click unsubscribe. And sometimes it takes longer. Sometimes you have to click the link and then it takes you to a website, and then you can't just click unsubscribe straight away. Sometimes you have to untick all the preferences. You have to really put more time and effort. And this is very similar to when things come up for us along our journey. Things that need to be healed, things that need to be transformed, alchemized, things that we need to let go of. Often we can take the short route or we can take the longer route. Sometimes it takes a longer period of time. And we can't just delete it. It's not just one click of a button. Sometimes it takes more time. Once we click it, we have to go through that website, untick all the categories. Maybe sometimes we have to fully delete our account or unsubscribe from that certain thing that we're subscribed to. So this takes more effort, a little bit more effort. And this is often what we need to do with our emotions when they arise. We need to attend to them, see what's going on. Oh, because it's almost the universe is showing you, it's revealing to you areas that you need to work on, parts of you that come to the surface. And the more you increase your vibration, the more light you bring into your field, the more life force, you're going to start to notice these things will start to come up. And the more you evolve in your life, the more darkness from below, from years ago, those old subscriptions that you subscribed to 10, 15, 20 years ago will start to surface. And you'll be like, oh wow, I didn't know I was subscribed to this. I did not know that I had this within my body, within my nervous system. So it'll start to come up and it'll show you and reveal to you, and then you need to pay attention to it, work with it. Some of those longer subscriptions, those old school subscriptions that you are still with, that's still stored in your body, take the longest to work with, that longest. The ones that you experience in your day-to-day life, they're shorter. You can deal with them quicker, you can let them go faster. If some experience happens, you get triggered, you're going to tend to that, work through it, delete it, unsubscribe from it. That's what we want to do. And often a lot of people, they have their inbox is built up. So they have all these built up emotions and they're not even deleting them. They're not even unsubscribing from them. They're subscribed to hundreds of mailing lists, metaphorically. So they have all these emotions stored within their body, all these memories, all this darkness that is not being looked at. And it gets built up, it gets built up, it gets built up. Until eventually you run out of capacity, you run out of storage, and you have to attend to them. And usually people experience this through a massive dark night of the soul, or they go through an emotional crisis, a midlife crisis, and life gets pretty chaotic. Maybe they want to take their life, maybe they get very depressed, they go to drugs, or they go to therapists or doctors. They're really seeking help, and often that can be a great catalyst for us to make the change, for us to look and go, oh, holy shit, my inbox is huge, it's full, I need to do some clearing. My emotions, there's things that have been stored. I've got anger within me, I've got shame, I've got sadness, I've got all this grief that I'm not dealing with, this guilt, whatever it may be. And we need to allow ourselves to see it, to observe it, to feel it, to shift it. And for some, like I said, some subscriptions take a longer period of time. Sometimes it takes, months, weeks, years to work and heal through something. Sometimes it can take a day or two. So it all depends on the person, and all depends on the divine timing of things. And so I just check in with you today, check in with yourself, check in with your inventory. I'm using this metaphor as the mailing list, because you'll see, if you open your email, you'll see all these things that maybe you're subscribed to, and the only way to get rid of them, to clear them, is to go to the bottom of them. This is like getting to the bottom of your emotions, like getting to the core of the problem, not dealing with just the surface layer thing. Delete. No, we need to deal with this. We need to, if we want to remove this, and we don't want it to keep coming back, we don't want to keep repeating over and over, because we think if we delete it, it's going. No, it's still within us. It's still stored. So it's going to be an unconscious thing playing out, and it's going to play out in our life. Even if we consciously aren't aware of it, it's still going to play out unconsciously. So we need to click it when it comes up. So when it comes up, or when you get triggered, that's beautiful information. Life triggers you, great. Why are you being triggered? Look at that. If an emotion gets triggered, why? Where is that emotion? Go into it. It's like you would with the mail. Scroll down, go all the way to the bottom, get to the core of it, click unsubscribe, and that's where you're really making that inner transformation, and you're making it lasting. So you don't want this email to come back anymore. You don't want this emotion to come back, this trigger. You're getting to the root of it. You don't want to act from this anymore. So we're deleting it at the core. by deleting it completely, so that you will receive no more emails. You will receive no more triggers in that category. And this is how we heal. So I hope you liked today's metaphor, and I wish you the best luck on your healing journey. And often, at times we're not in the right state to deal with things. So often we get these emails that come through, and often we don't want to go to the bottom of them. We don't want to get to the core of them. We're maybe not ready for it yet. So in our own timing, and at our own pace, we can work through it layer by layer, and then we can really transform our life. When we have that inventory that's cleared, we can allow for new emails to come in, new emotions to come through, new experience to come through, and it doesn't get clogged up because we haven't got so much of a back storage. We haven't got all that outdated subscriptions. So we can deal with the new ones when they come. We don't have as much clog up. When they come, we can heal them, move on, keeping that inventory clean, just like keeping our energetic system clean. We're working with the energy system. We're constantly clearing. We're constantly checking in, like you would with your computer. Every now and again, it's due for a cleanup, going through your memory, going through your storage, going through the RAM. Like, there's some old areas. I need to clear out my recycle bin. So, we need to do this clearing within ourselves. And that's where it's great to check in. There's modalities like meditation, breath work, there's hypnotherapy, which is as well a great tool. And these are great ways to lift the rocks and to see what's under the covers. There's faster processes. You can obviously go into many different types of modalities these days. But also you can just allow yourself to tune in. Sit with yourself, step away from the distractions, tune in, and things will come up. And often life will bring up things for you, but because we're so unaware, we're so in the day-to-day, the to-do list, the checklist, we're so busy, distracted, often we just ignore them and push them aside. We don't actually sit and go, why am I triggered? Because usually we don't have enough that space, that awareness to observe. And this is where meditation is powerful, because when we observe what we experience, we pay more attention rather than just just getting it out of the way and distracting and numbing. And when we observe, we don't identify and attach to it either. We don't resist it as much. We don't judge it as much. We just observe. We see it for what it is, from a bird's eye perspective, from a higher perspective. And when we can observe, we have more awareness, we can allow for the shifts. We can really see the new emails that come through, the new messages, the new triggers emotionally that are annoying us. Why are they there? Where's that coming from? Let's attend to that. Let's get to the bottom of that. Let's unsubscribe. So thank you for listening to today's video. Hope you enjoyed it. Peace.